Hi maths kids and parents. This activity will be a fun learning experience because I will show you how to make rainbow color density layers in a glass with certain materials and ingredients that you have at home. Parents, since in this project you will be using warm water, you need to help your child with this. But before we get started on the activity, let me explain what density is. Density is a comparison of how much matter there is in a certain amount of space. So this activity will use different amounts of a solution, which will be sugar, to create a rainbow of colors in a single glass. This is what the experiment should look like when we finish. Before we get started, these are the materials that you will need for the activity. Sugar, a tablespoon, water, stir sticks, or at least something to stir the water and sugar with, 6 glass jars, and food coloring, red, yellow, green, blue, and purple. So part 1, we're going to place the 5 glass containers on a flat surface like a table or counter and add different amounts of sugar in each glass. The 6 glass will stay empty for now. So for the first container, we need 1 tablespoon of sugar. For the second container, we're going to need 2 tablespoons. For the third, we need 3. 1, 2, 3. For the fourth, we will need 4 tablespoons of sugar. And for the fifth, we will need 5 tablespoons of sugar. Now that we've added the sugar to the 5 glasses, we are going to add the water. Now, to heat up the water, you will probably need 30 seconds to heat it up enough so that the sugar melts properly. So each container is going to get 3 tablespoons of water. So now we're going to stir them. Make sure that the sugar has totally dissolved. So you're going to stir each one and make sure that the sugar has dissolved in each container. And if it hasn't, just add more water until the sugar has dissolved properly, but remember that each container has to have an equal amount of water. Now for this part, we are going to add the food coloring. So the first glass jar is going to get 3 drops of red food coloring. The second jar is going to get 3 drops of yellow. The third, 3 drops of green. the fourth 3 drops of blue. And the fifth one will get 3 drops of purple. Now we're going to stir each one. Now that all of the sugar in the containers have been dissolved, it's time to make the rainbow. So we're going to grab the purple jar and empty half of it into the empty glass container. Let me see. A little bit more. That should do it. Set the purple jar aside. And now we're going to take the blue container and use the back of the spoon to slowly pour half of the blue water on top of the purple layer. When you finish pouring the blue water, set aside that jar and take the green one and pour it the same way with the jar touching the back of the spoon and slowly pouring the water down the back of the spoon. Again, only half of the green water should go on top of the blue layer. So now that the green layer has been poured, we're going to set aside that jar and start again with the yellow. So the procedure with the spoon and our next jar will be the same. Carefully pour it in, having the jar touch the back of the spoon. Once half of the yellow water has been poured in, set it aside, and now we are going to pour in half of the red water. Again, using the same procedure with the back of the spoon as we did with all the other glass containers. Now that you've finished pouring in the last layer, set that jar aside, and now we are going to take a look at the finished experiment. If you can't see your layers, you may use a flashlight so that you could be able to see them clearly. And honestly, this is really awesome. So look at the awesome rainbow we created in the glass, guys. So now that we finished the experiment, I want you guys to think and tell me why you think the purple layer is at the bottom and why the red layer is floating at the top. Leave your answers in the comments below the video. See you next time.